This family's life changed completely because of one unexpected visitor, and that visitor wasn't a cat or a dog. It was a tiny baby raccoon. Today, everyone who sees Eddie thinks he's cheerful and full of confidence. He climbs the curtains, searches through the cabinets, and tries to inspect everything he finds. Sometimes he acts like a cat. Sometimes he follows us around like a dog. But most of the time, he simply acts like himself. A mischievous, curious, and incredibly intelligent raccoon. His family includes him in as much as they possibly can. Eddie especially loves places with water. He spends hours wandering through the water, looking between the rocks, searching for tadpoles and other tiny creatures. Seeing him this energetic today is incredible when you think about the fight he once had to survive. Because Eddie's story had a very difficult beginning. One day, the family came across a heartbreaking post on social media. A mother raccoon had been removed from a home. 2 days later, 5 baby raccoons were found inside the house, and they needed help. Time was running out. That's when this family stepped in. They volunteered to foster one of the babies. When Eddie arrived, he was only a few days old. His eyes hadn't even opened yet. He was so tiny that he fit comfortably in the palm of a hand. He needed warmth, food, and constant care. That day, the family realized one thing. This tiny little life was now completely in their hands. Just like a newborn baby, he needed around-the-clock care. They bottle-fed him. They gave him specialized care. They stayed by his side day and night. All 5 of the family's children immediately became attached to Eddie. They would practically compete for their turn to feed him. Some days, Eddie even went to work with the family so he wouldn't miss his feeding schedule. As time passed, he began to grow. He moved on to bigger bottles. He got stronger. And little by little, his personality began to shine through. His curiosity, especially, knew no limits. If there was anything in the house waiting to be discovered, he would definitely find it. He wandered into the children's rooms, went through their belongings, and sometimes left behind a little mess. But no one could stay mad at him, because Eddie had a unique little habit. If someone scolded him, he wouldn't forget it. He would keep his distance for a while. And after some time had passed, he would go back to his old self. To the children, Eddie was no longer just a pet. He was a member of the family. They saw him as their little brother. Whenever they played in the yard, Eddie followed right behind them. He jumped on the trampoline, ran around with them, and spent most of the day by their side. Everyone who came into the house asked the same first question: "Where's Eddie?" Of course, it would be impossible to say that living with a raccoon is easy. He loves opening cabinet doors. He goes through the trash. He wants to inspect everything he finds. In short, he's like a little machine of chaos. So, over time, the family came up with a few solutions. They put lids on the trash cans. Eddie got his own chair at mealtimes. They patiently tried to teach him the rules, and little by little, Eddie began to learn what he could and couldn't do. One of his favorite activities is playing in the dirt. He can spend hours digging in the garden. The family even took him on crystal hunting trips in Arkansas, and Eddie absolutely loved it. He also loves climbing trees. But here's the interesting part. No matter how far he climbs, he never loses sight of his family. If he sees them walking toward the car, He immediately climbs down and runs over to them. To Eddie, getting in the car is like going on a luxury vacation. Soft, comfortable seats, beautiful views through the window, and people who spoil him. What more could he ask for? The moment he sees us getting ready, he knows what's happening. He runs outside before we do.
Oh! Oh! Let me get up!
Eddie loves doing his own thing. Sometimes you'll find him lying in the sink, and other times he's climbing somewhere around the house. We see him as one of us. He even comes on vacation with us. One of Eddie's favorite things is cuddling. He loves curling up beside us on the couch, falling asleep in someone's lap, and staying as close as possible. The purring sound he makes when he's happy always brings a smile to everyone's face. Still, his family never forgets one important fact. Even though Eddie grew up around people, he is still a wild animal. That's why they give him the freedom to choose. He has a special door he can use to go in and out of the house. He can go outside whenever he wants, and he can come back whenever he wants. He spends his days climbing through the trees, playing in the yard, and exploring nature. When evening comes, he usually returns to be with his family. Eddie's family knows that one day he may choose to live completely free, and they accept that it would break their hearts. But truly loving him doesn't mean seeing him as something that belongs to them. It means wanting what's best for him. Eddie came into their lives in the most unexpected way, but the love and memories he has left behind are too great to ever be forgotten. Because sometimes an animal doesn't need many years to change your life. Sometimes a tiny little raccoon is enough to earn a place in a family's heart forever. And perhaps the most important thing this story reminds us of is this: wild animals can be loved, they can be helped, but we should never forget that their true home is in the wild. If you ever come across a wild animal that needs help, instead of trying to tame it, be sure to contact a licensed wildlife rehabilitation center or a veterinarian. Sometimes the greatest act of love you can give an animal is helping it have a future where it can live freely again. Don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.